Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to my literacy through art classes. Today, I wanted to talk about what literacy means and literacy in other places, specifically ancient Egypt. Today's activity is going to be with hieroglyphs. You're going to write something in hieroglyphs, and we have a translation chart for you. But first, I kind of wanted to talk about what literacy is. I'm sure some of you already know the definition, but it's the ability to read and write. And in English, we use the Latin alphabet, and we have our 26-letter alphabet that forms sounds. So each letter and letter combination makes its own sound, which we then put together to make into words that we're able to write and read and tell stories. And in ancient Greece, they have their very own language and alphabet or writing system. Just like in a lot of other countries, they have their own writing systems. I'm sure anyone who has seen or heard Arabic, it's very different. Russian, very different. Mandarin, very different alphabets, and they have different symbols representing different letters and words, just like the ancient Egyptians did. So, I'm sure you think of Great Pyramids and mummies when you think of ancient Egypt, and on a lot of pyramids and tombs for pharaohs that house mummies, they have writing on the walls, writing and pictures on the walls, and that was the Egyptians' form of writing. That was their writing system called hieroglyphs. I don't know if you guys have seen any of these. A very famous Egyptian book with the use of hieroglyphs is the Book of the Dead. I'm going to link some pictures of that and other wall writings on there in the description of this video. So if you want to look at it and see what it looks like on tomb walls and on the pyramids, then that's awesome. It'll give you an idea of what it looked like. But they used their alphabet to carve into stone walls or write on papyrus, which is a plant that grows mostly in Egypt, but also in other places of Africa, that ancient Egyptians turned into a sort of paper, and they wrote on the paper, and they also carved into stone walls. So today, I want to show you this handout that McKenna made. She also works at ArtSphere, so thank you, McKenna. But it's a hieroglyphic alphabet chart, so that for this activity, you can use this to help you translate and write your own message, and get a glimpse into how ancient Egyptians wrote and read. So you're going to use this, and my idea was you can write anything that you think is interesting. You can introduce yourself, you can write a story, you can try to write a message that you want somebody in your family to decode, or anything else, and use this chart to help you translate. So I'm gonna show you something that I did just to give you a little idea. Of course, you guys can get more creative and write more. I don't want you to just write this, but I just wanted to give you an idea. So I used Sharpie to write this, and I wrote a message, and using this chart, I wrote it. So I decided to show you guys, I wanted to write, "Hi, my name is Maritza." So I used the chart to look for the letters that I needed. So the first letter is H, so I looked on here, found an H, and then the next letter is an I, so I found the I, and I used it to write my sentences. Hi, my name is Maritza. So this is my name in hieroglyphs. And I think it's really cool to kind of explore literacy in other countries and also civilizations that are thousands of years old. I think that that's really interesting. and this hieroglyphs are a huge part of art history and Egyptian civilizations, so learning more about this and literacy in other countries is really cool. So you can use this chart to write whatever you want. As I mentioned before, ancient Egyptians either carved into stone walls or wrote on papyrus, which is a plant that they turned into a paper. So I don't know if you guys have anything that you can carve into. I don't assume that you do, but if you want to, you can take just a normal piece of paper and use tea bags to stain it and let it dry so that you can then write your message in hieroglyphs on the stained paper. It makes it look old and makes it look more authentic, and it'll make it look more like the papyrus paper, because papyrus wasn't just white like our printer paper is. So if you want to make it a little bit more authentic, then that's totally fine. I did another lesson showing you guys how to stain your paper. I'm also going to link that in the description of this video if you want to do that. But basically, I want you guys to come up with something that you want to write, whether that's a hidden message that you want someone to decode, whether you just want to introduce yourself or tell a story or learn about the ancient Egyptians and write a story from ancient Egypt in hieroglyphs. That's also really awesome. Anything that you want to write is totally fine. Write it on a piece of paper. Please make sure you spell everything right, otherwise it's going to be very hard to decode. And finally, give your creation to somebody in your family or a friend or whoever to try and translate it. You can give them this chart, and so that they can figure out what you were saying, and maybe they can write back using this chart in hieroglyphs. I just wanted to give you guys a look into an ancient language, which I've always thought is really cool, especially because they don't have regular letters like us. They use symbols to write, which I have always thought was really awesome. So I hope you guys enjoy, and also please check out, if you just look up hieroglyphs on tomb walls on Google Images, you'll find a lot of cool examples. The ancient Egyptians also used this language and pictures of gods and images of the afterlife, which they firmly believed in, on their walls and on their papyrus scrolls. So if you want to add some images along with your hieroglyphic message, that's awesome. Again, I will link examples and pictures of the famous Book of the Dead in the description of the video, and I will also post a link for this chart so that you guys can use it and write your messages in hieroglyphs. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you share with me. You can share on Facebook or Instagram, or under our blog. Again, there's going to be a link in the description of this video. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy.